temporal condition rather than being more concerned about his eternal position. He was a carnal man. He was a carnal man who only lived for the moment. Carnal people only live for the moment. However it feels now. They care nothing about the consequences. They care nothing about tomorrow. They only live for today. When you look at our society, our prisons are filled with people who suffer from this condition called the Esau syndrome. I have to have it now. I can't wait to grow up and get a job. So guess what? I'm going to sell drugs, or I'm going to go out here and sell my body, or I'm going to go out here and rob somebody, or I'm going to go out here and break into somebody's home. They cannot wait. The Esau syndrome is a terrible place to be because you cannot wait for God to bless you. You're going to make it your way. And Esau was one of those people. He was a profane man. He was a godless man. He cared nothing about the spiritual. He only cared about the natural. Amen. And so if you was to read on in this text, Esau, it seems like he forgot about this promise that he made to Jacob. Because when the time was coming and Isaac, his father, was dying, he came to his father as if he was to receive the blessing. And his father told him to go out and hunt for some meat. And he came back and he hunted for some meat. And he prepared the stew. And he brought it to his father. But there was a trickster in the midst. Jacob disguised himself to be like Esau. And he put hair all over him. And he rubbed smelly stuff all over him. And he came to his father. And his father Isaac blessed him. And when his father Isaac released the blessing upon Jacob, it was a one-time deal. In other words, when Esau came in and he said, "Father, I got the stew for you. I'm ready for you to bless me." His father said, "Well, I already blessed," because he was blind. He couldn't see. He said, "I already blessed you." He said, "No, you didn't bless me." He said, "Yes, I did. I blessed you." He said, Then he said, "Well, perhaps your brother Jacob came in here." But it was all in God's design and all in God's plan. It's because Esau did not have a regard for spiritual things. And so God designed it. Because he knew that Esau would not respect the things of God. He would not honor the things of God. He was a person who was profane. He was godless. And when a person is godless, they live for the moment. Look at somebody and say, "Don't live for the moment." Don't live for the moment. Don't just live for the moment. Amen. There is a brighter day. There is another day that's ahead. There is a greater day. And I want you to know the promises of God. You have to wait on the promises of God. Amen. So, when you see people who are affected by this syndrome, Esau syndrome, you see it all around us. Teen pregnancies skyrocketing in major cities throughout America. People having babies out of wedlock. Abortion clinics filled up. Venereal diseases out of control. Divorce rates well over 65% in our country. When you see people playing the lotto trying to get something for nothing, it's all the Esau syndrome. People running around thinking that they can get something for nothing. It does not happen like that. And so when you look at this thing, a syndrome, what is a syndrome? A syndrome is a set of concurrent things. A set of concurrent things, running things. Concurrent. Something that is constantly running. It's perpetual. It's a group of signs or symptoms that occur together and are characteristics and is characterized as a disease. A group of systems or signs that are characterized by a disease is constant. Constant sin. Sin, as Christians, we're not supposed to have a sin syndrome. We sin sometimes, but we're not to be in perpetual sin. Because if we're in perpetual sin, we're living in iniquity. And if we're in iniquity, guess what? God separates himself from iniquity.